Bobby was just an ordinary office worker, struggling to make ends meet in the bustling city. He lived in a small, modest apartment and often worried about his bills. Despite his financial troubles, Bobby had a kind heart and a warm smile that could brighten anyone's day. Living next door to Bobby was Hannah, a stunningly beautiful woman who worked as a successful lawyer. She was not only gorgeous but also intelligent and wealthy. Many men pursued her, trying to win her affection with expensive gifts and grand gestures, but Hannah always turned them down, feeling that something was missing. Bobby had been secretly admiring Hannah for months. Every morning, they bumped into each other in the hallway, and Bobby's heart skipped a beat. "Good morning, Hannah," Bobby would say, his cheeks turning slightly red. "Morning, Bobby," Hannah would reply with a friendly smile. "Have a great day." Bobby longed to ask Hannah out, but he felt he wasn't good enough for her. "She's so beautiful and successful," he thought. "I really like her." One day, Bobby decided to pretend he was wealthy to impress Hannah. He borrowed an expensive suit from his friend and rented a fancy car for a day. The next time he saw Hannah, Bobby took a deep breath and said, "Hey, Hannah, I was wondering if you'd like to have dinner with me tonight. I know this great upscale restaurant downtown." Hannah looked surprised but pleased. "Sure, Bobby. That sounds lovely." At dinner, Bobby tried his best to act like a wealthy businessman. He ordered expensive dishes and talked about imaginary business deals. Hannah seemed to be enjoying herself, but something felt off to Bobby. He didn't feel like himself. As the weeks went by, Bobby continued his charade. He took Hannah to fancy places and bought her expensive gifts, maxing out his credit cards. Hannah agreed to keep dating him, but Bobby noticed she often seemed distracted or slightly disappointed. One evening, after another expensive date, Bobby walked Hannah to her door. "I had a nice time, Bobby," Hannah said, but her smile didn't quite reach her eyes. "Is everything okay, Hannah?" Bobby asked, concerned. Hannah hesitated. "It's just, I feel like I don't really know the real you, Bobby. Sometimes I miss the guy I used to chat with in the hallway." Bobby felt a pang of guilt. He realized his lie was pushing Hannah away instead of bringing her closer. The next day, feeling confused and lost, Bobby was scrolling through his Facebook feed when he saw a post from Hannah. His heart raced as he read, "What do women really want? It's not about whether a man is rich or poor. What matters is that he can give a woman enough security and hope for the future. That's what makes her stay with him. What women want is simple. It's not about how much money you have, but about your sense of responsibility, sincerity, reliability, attention to detail, and a special kind of love. We want a warm embrace, a reliable shoulder, someone who treats us like a treasure. Someone who may not earn much but is willing to spend on us, who checks on us and thinks of us often. No lies, no deception. More smiles than tears are enough." Bobby's eyes widened as he read Hannah's words. He realized he had been going about everything all wrong. Hannah didn't want his money or the fancy lifestyle he was pretending to have. She wanted honesty, kindness, and genuine care. With a heavy heart, Bobby decided to tell Hannah the truth. He knocked on her door, his hands shaking. "Bobby, is everything okay?" Hannah asked, seeing his troubled expression. "Hannah, I need to talk to you," Bobby said. "Can we take a walk?" As they strolled through a nearby park, Bobby confessed everything. He told her about his ordinary job, his financial struggles, and why he had pretended to be rich. "I'm so sorry, Hannah," Bobby said, his voice cracking. "I thought I needed to be wealthy to deserve someone like you, but I realize now that I was wrong. I should have just been myself." Hannah was quiet for a moment, then she surprised Bobby by taking his hand. "Oh, Bobby," she said softly, "I fell for you long before all the fancy dates and expensive gifts. I liked the kind man who always had a smile for me in the hallway, the man who helped Mrs. Johnson with her groceries and who feeds the stray cats behind our building." Bobby looked at her in amazement. "You noticed all that?" Hannah nodded, her eyes shining. "That's the man I want to be with, Bobby. Not some fake wealthy businessman, but the real you, kind, caring, and genuine." Bobby felt a weight lift off his shoulders. I promise, Hannah, from now on, you'll only get the real me. I may not be able to give you expensive things, but I'll always be there for you, supporting your dreams and loving you for who you are. Hannah squeezed his hand. That's all I ever wanted, Bobby. Just you, the real you. As they walked hand in hand through the park, Bobby realized that true love wasn't about grand gestures or material possessions. It was about understanding, support, and genuine care for each other. He had finally learned what women, what people, really want in a relationship, and he was determined to be that person for Hannah every single day. From that day forward, Bobby and Hannah's relationship blossomed. They enjoyed simple pleasures together, cooking meals at home, taking walks in the park, and just talking for hours. Bobby worked hard at his job and started to save money, not to buy expensive things, but to build a future with Hannah. Hannah, in turn, fell more deeply in love with the real Bobby. She appreciated his honesty, his kind heart, and the way he always put her first. She realized that the security and hope she had written about in her Facebook post came not from money, but from the strength of their bond and their shared dreams for the future. As they sat on the rooftop of their apartment building one evening, watching the sunset, Hannah turned to Bobby with a smile. You know, I'm so glad you decided to be yourself, she said. You've given me everything I ever wanted in a relationship. Honesty, kindness, and a love I can count on. Bobby pulled her close, feeling truly happy for the first time in years. And you've taught me what really matters in life, he replied. I promise to always be this person for you, Hannah. The real me, loving the real you. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in beautiful hues of pink and orange, Bobby and Hannah knew they had found something rare and precious, a love based on truth, understanding, and genuine care. And that, they both agreed, was worth more than all the riches in the world.
单字 make ends meet 勉强维持生计 Idiom to have just enough money to pay for the things that you need. Bustling 热闹的 Adjective if a place is bustling, it is full of busy activity. Upscale 商品产品高档的高级的 Adjective upscale goods and products are of very high quality and intended to be bought by people who are quite rich. Charade 显而易见的作假明显的伪装 Noun an act or event that is clearly false. Max something out 达到了极限不可能再多 Phrasal verb to reach the limit of something so that nothing more is possible. Hue 颜色色彩 Noun a degree of lightness, darkness, strength, etc. of a color.